Well, I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but it is June. June 2nd, to be exact. And one thing that I've noticed after checking out some companies on X, it would appear that things aren't as festive this year as they normally are. Now, Sesame Street sure is jumping in on the Pride Parade. There's a clip going around of them. Well, I'll show you a little bit of it towards the end of this video, but it is funny because that's a very publicly funded show. I think it's time to defund Sesame Street. But yeah, big brands, they're pulling back on their celebrations this year, and I've noticed it. A lot of people have noticed it. Really interesting video here. We're going to come back to that article. A lot of these companies are choosing not to virtue signal this year. Very, very interesting. Here's an Aspen Gold video. Let's go through this.
No change.
So there's IBM.
Microsoft?
That's surprising.
No change.
Microsoft.
Xbox?
This one's also surprising.
No change.
No change.
Disney?
Xbox is big because, I mean, Halo. Halo hasn't changed. They were showing off their new Pride skins. Destiny was as well. That's Bungie. That's a totally different thing. But, I mean, I still kind of Halo and Bungie. That shows you how 343 has kind of failed that property. Because they've been associated with Halo longer than Bungie at this point, right? I kind of feel like they have.
No change.
Wow. Disney.
Target?
This is the big one. Target.
No change. Starbucks?
Target's tired of losing money. This is a big one. No change.
Even Starbucks roached out on the gays? Of all the people to roach out on the gays, you're going to expect Starbucks to do it? Damn.
This is the Trump effect.
Wow. Okay, let's see here.
You fatigued people. And honestly, I don't think it was that bad until the push to, like, push it on kids. That was the real turning point with a lot of people. Like, you know, I'm actually a pretty live and let live guy. I just don't like, I don't like the propaganda in schools and on children's television and shit like that. That's just too much. And, you know, I'm not the only one. That's like the majority of America that shares those views. So, I mean, that was, like it or not, a big factor because the DNC, they're all about it, pushing it, saying it's amazing, great, this is progress. And they totally ignored the American people on it, and they paid for it.
Bank of America?
But, you know, midterms are coming, and Republicans do the best to get in the way of their own progress. So I'm sure midterms will be interesting.
Okay. No change? Nothing? What about Blizzard?
Blizzard's a big one.
No change. What about World of Warcraft?
No change.
Also no change. Google's homepage? Let me see. Google.
Yeah, Google. Yep.
Nothing.
Not changed.
Actually nothing. Even the Google homepage.
That's a big one. I don't think you realize how big that is.
Wow. There it is. The image, kind of. Yeah, I don't know, guys. And hover over it. Well, let me see.
Okay.
Hover over it. It might actually be over this year. Holy shit. Or not really over, but like the mass corporate support for it might be over. There's no way Overwatch didn't make any posts about Pride.
That's crazy.
There's no shot. Like, if that's true, then it's really dead. Well,
so that's a good 2-minute clip to kind of show you that a lot of these big brands are pulling back, and even CNN acknowledges this. This is from CNN Business, and it is over when CNN is telling you, yeah, they're pulling back. They're pulling back. And a lot of that, Bud Light and Target. Bud Light has been damaged because of their progressive stances. That Dylan Mulvaney thing that they did, what was that, 2 years ago? That had long-term damage to Bud Light. And the reason I say that is because they didn't get all of their shelf space back. When it comes to booze, the cooler is king. And it used to be when you would walk in to a store and you go to their beer section, Bud Light was king. Bud Light would have, if it was a cooler, there'd be a dedicated cooler to that shit. And that's not the case anymore. I never understood why. Bud Light tastes like shit. But, if that's your thing, God bless you. But, that shelf space is king. And how it works, at least from my understanding, because I covered this, when there comes time for an evaluation and people will go and look at their stock at some point in the year, and they'll decide, okay, well, what beers are we going to put here? How much are we going to have more? Like, that used to be a big thing for them, and they lost a lot of that space. A lot of habits were broken from that, so people that will habitually buy the same thing or the same brand because people like what they like. A lot of people switched to other brands, and a lot of those brands took over some of the space that Bud Light used to occupy. So they lost, unless it's changed, but as far as I know, they've still lost shelf space at these coolers because of what happened during that backlash that they got. Target got the same thing with their tuck-friendly swimsuits that they were practically just replacing women's swimsuits with. And, you had viral videos like Alex Stein walked around in Target and put one of those on. That video went viral. A lot of consumer boycotts. Now these companies are scared. They don't want to get hit. And Kroger's in this. Kroger was going viral over an ad they had with kids' food and stuff, and they were putting the rainbows all over the advertisement, and they were getting a lot of heat. I saw this yesterday when I was on X, just kind of seeing what was going on yesterday, and I saw that ad a bunch of times and people talking about it. So, yeah, a lot of this is getting pulled back, and CNN, they're not very happy about it, but, it is what it is. You fatigued people. I got to say it. You have fatigued people. And when you pushed it all over on kids, you pissed a lot of people off. And that is what it is. This is the ad that's been going mega viral. I don't know how much I can show of this because I don't know if they copyright. They shouldn't copyright considering my taxes. Pay it, but I don't know who this guy is. This is some influencer. There's a whole segment on PBS. I don't know if this is new or not. I'm seeing it for the first time today. It has been going mega viral on X, and people are now calling for the defunding of Sesame Street. I will see what happens. Anyway, it's going to be an interesting month. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of salt, and I'm always here to mine that salt. By the way, I got a comic book out there. Over 3,319 books sold. Very awesome. Thank you to everybody that's checked it out. There's a link in the description. We've got posters. We've got shirts. We've got 4 beautiful covers of this action-packed, amazing comic book. You can jump in for $17. So check it out. Link in the description. Also, if you would comment, like, subscribe, share the video, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
year is 1945. World War II rages from the halls of Buckingham Palace to the shores of the Nile River. Even now, the clash between freedom and tyranny is about to boil over. Somewhere in North Africa, 2 American flyboys are soaring high on a reconnaissance mission, searching for clues to a peculiar new obsession with the occult gripping the Nazi high command.